So, welcome to another student project presentation. We have Zaina here who has made this project after a Scratch Level 2 course. Is that, am I
No,
saying that?
Scratch level 1.
Scratch Level 1 course. All right. So, would love to see what you've made, but before that, can you please also introduce yourself?
Okay, so I'm Zainah Farooq. My hobbies include swimming, guitar playing, table tennis, maths, really much actually. And I made this game because I have played games like this in my childhood also. Before, I've also played these a lot, these type of games, and because I also love dancing myself.
Okay, nice. But like back up a little bit, guitar playing.
Yeah,
How long has that been going on?
a few months, about a
Okay,
month
or
probably.
are you good at it?
Getting better slightly.
Getting better. Uh-huh. I mean, that's how learning happens. I mean, in the beginning, we're not good at something, but then we keep on going. In the beginning, it's also a bit easier to learn something new, but like you have to be consistent at it. So, how many classes are you taking for that?
Classes?
I mean, are you learning by yourself or are you taking any classes for guitar learning?
No, it's part of my school system. It's a
Oh,
club.
all right, all right. All right, all right. So like how regularly do you guys meet and like what sort of activities do you do?
We usually meet about 2 days a week, and there we learn different chords. We learn exercises like one we're doing the unmuting exercise, where
Mm-hmm.
where it helps unmute your chords while playing.
Okay. All right. That's also interesting. Maybe you could also share something about that in another video, because I would also like to learn that. But right now, let's proceed towards the Scratch project. Like, what have you made?
Okay, so this is my game called Dance Mania. When
Mm-hmm.
you check the tag, now the instructions are that a random arrow will show in a box at the bottom of the screen. You have to press that
Mm-hmm.
arrow the same as your keyboard. Like
Mm-hmm.
example, if you see the up arrow, you have to press the same one that's in the down right corner of your keyboard. Once we
Mm-hmm.
start this
Okay.
button, the player appears, and then whenever we press the same button, our scores go up. The timer is the timer is of 60 seconds, and this will keep
Mm.
happening. The arrows will keep changing randomly in those 60 seconds.
Okay. Interesting. I absolutely like want to play this right now. This seems so much fun. And I know what you meant by like having these sort of games and like playing these sort of games because but there aren't like a lot of these in Pakistan, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Have you there are a lot at like carnivals and like theme parks maybe, uh, but not over here. There are very few like gaming arcades, I think. And those places should have it, but like they don't.
yeah. They usually have basketball, shooting, and
Hmm.
table hockey.
Okay, all right. Time to tap the flag button to play game. Okay, this is fun. Yes, I mean it's a very unique idea, and it's simple, yet it's also engaging. That you have to keep on looking at it, and you have to keep on like on your fingers, so that you don't miss any direction. What happens if you miss a direction? Does it say that like you've pressed wrong?
No, it does not, because this I just wanted it to be a fun, engaging activity. If you get it wrong,
Mm-hmm.
your score does not increase, but you can still keep playing. It won't stop the game if you
Mm-hmm.
get it wrong.
Hmm. All right. So people could compete on like score, like how many did they get right, but while they're playing, they shouldn't be like stopped
Yeah,
with a buzzer sort of a thing that or maybe like a loud noise type of a thing that oh you pressed wrong, so you made a mistake or something. So it's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be like
yeah,
challenging. Yeah, it's good. I think it's challenging enough. It's right at that edge that it's not annoying. If you had added that, then maybe it would have gotten annoying.
very much so.
Very much so. Yeah. So let's take a look at the code. So the dancing sprite is already in there, and it has a couple of moves. Yeah,
It
and
has actually four costumes.
mm-hmm,
The coding for this isn't that hard. So when flag button is clicked, hide, and it will set the score variable to 0.
mm-hmm,
When game starts, when it shows, then first, to understand this, we have to look at the coding for the arrows first. So
mm-hmm,
when it receives the broadcaster's message for game start, it will wait, show, and then it will, like, you can think of this as a randomizer. So it will
mm-hmm,
switch its costumes from random to 1 to 4, and it will wait
mm-hmm,
approximately about 1 second before every new costume.
mm-hmm.
So now the buttons are synced to the costumes. So if costume number is 4 and key up arrow is pressed, then it will change score by 1 and wait 1 second. The same with all the others as well,
Okay,
but
all
different
right.
costumes for each. So in this, if key up arrow is pressed, then it will switch the costume to ballerina 1, down arrow
Mm-hmm,
to ballerina 2, then left arrow 3, and right arrow 4.
mm-hmm. Okay. So the ballerina does react based on the keys, whether
Yeah.
whether it was the right key or not.
Yes.
All right. Because I think that's exactly how it is in in those physical settings as well, where like we perform the moves, whether it is the right move or not. Yes. Okay, that's good.
For the backdrops, I started off. I used a rectangle tool and added two colors in it and made this whole box. Then I
Mm-hmm.
added the code. So when flag button is clicked, it'll set the timer variable to 60, and
Mm-hmm.
every time it receives the broadcast message, it will change into the backdrop of that
Mm-hmm.
broadcast message. First, when flag button is clicked, it will switch to backdrop one, which is this
Mm-hmm.
backdrop.
Okay.
When it receives in when we tap this button, it broadcasts the message of instructions. When that happens, it
Okay.
switches to backdrop 2. Then when you press the start button, it will switch to the main game background, you can say.
Hmm.
And when game start, this is the this is the code for the timer. So
Mm-hmm.
this whole thing will repeat until the timer is equal to 0. So wait 1 second and change the timer by -1, meaning that the timer will
Mm-hmm.
increase each second. And
Okay.
then when it reaches 0, it will broadcast times up. And if timer is equal to 0, then it will switch backdrop to backdrop 3, which is the last backdrop. This one.
Okay. Tap the flag button. Okay. So right now we are seeing the tap me sprite as well, the button one sprite, but in another scenario that won't be here. It will be hidden.
Yep, because
Okay.
when we tap this and then it changes into here.
I like the blinking part. The button, it blinks. Can you like show us that, the button one? Yeah.
I added this with tap here to continue as well. I
hmm
did this that repeat. This will repeat about 3 times. Hide, wait 0.1 seconds, and then show, and
hmm
then wait again.
Nice.
This
Yes.
it will create a type of like interest.
The
It will interest the people who are playing it. It will make it look more engaging and fun.
Yes, it will divert their attention on that button. Yes. So this is pretty much the same type of program that we usually write when we're starting to do robotics with microcontrollers. The Arduino microcontroller, the very first program that we usually do is a Blink program. So instead of like repeating it just 3 times, we there is simply a forever loop over there that keeps on blinking it. So we can also put a forever loop over here and it will keep on blinking, but this is pretty much the same type of project that somebody gets to do when they're working with microcontrollers. The difference over there is that we get to see an LED light being blinked. The difference over here the button is actually sort of blinking, but this is
Oh,
also
over
uh,
so over there it's in real life, and this is in a game.
Yeah,
So
you could say that one is physical and this one is digital.
okay,
That because this is what you could say the two big realms are of creating products. We create physical products or we create digital products. So this is a digital product that you have. It's a game, and it's not a commercial project that you can sell to somebody, but it is a digital product. You can still call it that.
yeah.
Hmm. Okay. There was something that I had actually like noticed in the main game program where you had the timer running. So can
Timer.
you, yeah, go to that part? Like where is the code for the timer?
Oh, the timer code. The timer
Yeah.
code is the
Oh,
same.
it's in the background. Yeah. So I did notice something that may be a little bit redundant. Like if the repeat loop is running till the time is zero, so it will only end when the time approaches zero. Otherwise, it will not end. So
Yeah,
right after doing that, why do you have to check whether the time is zero or not?
because then because that's how long the game duration is.
Yes, and I get that. That the timer would keep on getting subtracted and arriving at zero. So as soon as it becomes zero, the program will arrive over here outside the repeat loop, right?
Yeah,
So that means that the timer would be zero at that point. So right after that statement, you do not have to check whether the timer is zero or not. If it is zero or not, it will always be zero at that point.
oh, I get what you're saying.
So how do we fix that?
We can fix it by saying when I receive brought time when I receive times up, switch backdrop to backdrop tree.
We could do that. Yes. Yes. We don't
Or
have to use the if condition.
we can just move this here.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Now, if you wanted to maybe like synchronize it exactly in this way that whenever like the times up thing happens, only then the backdrop should turn to backdrop three, then you could do it your way, like you've explained. When I received times up, then switch backdrop to backdrop three. On the other hand, this is also fine. I don't think like this would cause any issues in your program because the sequence seems right. But on the other hand, it was still working fine, so you can keep it like it is as well. I mean, there are always we can always think of some improvements in the project. So have you thought of any new thing, any feature that you are going to add, or is this one done?
Well, I actually already added a few parts. For example, the start button when you
Mm-hmm.
move on to game first, I only had in the instructions period, I only had a timer, which I thought would be the average time that it takes for some people to read. But
Mm-hmm.
then I thought that it was but then my teacher also suggested that it was too long and that we should add also my teacher and my evaluator both. They suggested that there should be a button here, so in case someone already knows or someone wants to get to the game faster, so they all they have to do is just click a button and then they can go there.
Yes, exactly. Because nobody likes to wait reading the instructions. And in all of those big games, when let's say they're showing you the storyline, mostly in the FPS games, you always simply want to skip past the storyline and just get right into the action. So that was, I think, a good suggestion, and you've done that really well. So this is good. Do share this with me on our Slack, and I would love to play this. Thank you so much for sharing this over here, and would love to see what you make in level two. This is a very well managed project.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. See you again. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.